Hello and welcome everyone. I am Michelle Anthony Desaire, a legal practitioner with over 25 years at the Saint Lucia Bar. I am the principal attorney and founder of Athena Law in Castries, Saint Lucia, where guiding clients on their real estate journeys is my passion and at the core of my practice. I am thrilled to be your guide today as we explore some insights and trends in real estate law on the beautiful Caribbean island of Saint Lucia. Let's delve into the legal framework that governs real estate transactions in Saint Lucia. Real estate laws in Saint Lucia are, in the main, derived from statute, primarily the provisions of the Civil Code relating to property and the Land Registration Act. The primary source of property law in Saint Lucia was a civil code introduced in 1879, which was effectively based on the Quebec Civil Code, which, in the main, was derived from the Coutume de Paris. By way of background, this can be understood in the historical context of the island having been 7 times French and 7 times British. The land registration system was introduced in 1984 with the passage of the Land Adjudication Act, the Land Registration Act, the Land Surveyors Act, and the subsequent establishment of the Land Registry. The Land Registry administers all property-related transactions. Every parcel of land on the island is recorded at the Land Registry and easily identified by reference to block and parcel numbers and located on a master map sheet. Title to the property is held as freehold or leasehold and is either absolute or provisional. At the heart of Saint Lucia's conveyancing is our notarial system. Transfer of title by conveyance must be by notarial deed, executed in the presence of an attorney at law in his or her capacity as a notary royal. Once admitted to the bar to practice as an attorney at law, a person is automatically entitled and authorized to act as a notary. It is of note to point out that there is little similarity between a civil law notary who operates in Saint Lucia and a notary public under the common law systems such as England. In his book, Coutume de Paris to 1988, The Evolution of Land Law in Saint Lucia, Winston F. Snack, Queen's Counsel, stated that a notary performs 3 practical functions. The first involves receiving instructions, drafting of deeds, for example, wills, conveyances, and hypothecs, and ensuring that the documents are explained to the client. The second relates to the authentication of deeds and other instruments. A notary royal is expected to retain the original of every document authenticated. Documents authenticated by a notary royal are conclusive evidence that the document is valid and genuine. The office of the notary is like a public records office. A notary must keep a copy of every instrument he or she prepares and must furnish authenticated copies on request and at a fee. Let's look now at the legal framework. Real estate typically changes hands by notarial conveyance or by acquisition of shares where the title is held by a corporation. The method selected is determined by a number of factors and preferences. Non-nationals, with a few exceptions, require an alien's landholding license to acquire or lease property. Regardless of the method of acquisition selected, both buyer and seller are required to pay transfer taxes. In the case of the seller, vendor's tax is paid, and in the case of the buyer, stamp duty. Where acquisition occurs by deed of conveyance, the entry of the deed on the land register is proof of title. An inspection of the land register will provide you with almost all there is to know about the property. Title insurance is not typically used on the island. In the few instances where title insurance is used, this has been largely in the context of a United States national or entity obtaining funding from a foreign bank, and of course, the ability to identify a title insurance company willing to provide cover on the island. Let's move on to some recent developments and trends in St. Lucia's real estate scene. Saint Lucia, continues to be an attractive destination for second home owners and property developers. The real estate market on the island is a dynamic one, with ever-growing demand in the second home and luxury home markets. Post-COVID-19, there has been increased volume and velocity in the real estate sector, in particular from the United States, United Kingdom, and Canadian markets, with increasing growth in the European market. Saint Lucia offers a diverse range of real estate options, including residential properties, commercial spaces, and vacation homes. As a major tourism destination, the tourism industry significantly influences the real estate market, with offerings varying from unbuilt lots, standalone homes, condominiums, and villas featuring stunning views and premium amenities. Depending on individual taste, lifestyle, and budget, there are suitable options for everyone. Saint Lucia's stable political environment and economic policies make it an attractive destination for real estate investment. Foreign investors often explore opportunities in the market, taking advantage of tourism incentives offered by the government and the country's appeal as a tourism destination. The new Aliens Landholding License Act, introduced in March of 2020, makes property purchases significantly easier with its two-stage process. The first stage, the Certificate of Eligibility, is a due diligence process that clears an applicant to acquire property on the island. An applicant may apply for a certificate that is valid for 12 months or a certificate that is valid for 10 years. Once granted, the certificate allows an investor to acquire multiple properties during the validity period. The Aliens license is the second stage of the process and is the final step to allow the applicant to acquire a property. This license is specific to the property to be acquired and is required to allow a conveyance of property or acquisition of shares in a non-alien company to occur. A holder of a certificate of eligibility may, after acquiring a property, apply for an alien investor entrance permit. This permit will allow a holder to remain on the island indefinitely for as long as they retain title to the property and obviates the need to apply for extended stays via the Immigration Department. I should mention that this permit does not allow the holder to work on the island. This permit has proven very popular with property owners who want to enjoy extended stays on island. Over the last few years, there has been ongoing discussion at the government level regarding regularizing the property rental market, in particular as it relates to rental of property in the tourism sector. This is often via Airbnb and other similar sites or standalone websites managed by property owners. 2024 will see the introduction of the Tourism Development Act, most likely in the second quarter. This act will create a cohesive legal framework, improve sector standards, encourage more sustainable tourism products, and expand the scope of projects eligible for fiscal incentives. In addition, the act will allow for the certification of tourism products, including residential properties operating in the tourism market. While still in the draft stage, it appears that apartments, condominiums, villas, and cottages that provide accommodation for visitors will be captured under the rubric of tourism accommodation, and owners will be deemed tourism operators. Persons operating in the online hospitality service sector, like Airbnb, and those operating through local management companies or independent websites will be brought into the tourism sector in a more formal sense. Certification will be streamlined so that there will be greater adherence to other local legislative requirements. Like any real estate market, Saint Lucia faces challenges such as potential fluctuations in property values. I should mention that property values are usually reflected in United States or Eastern Caribbean dollars, as the US dollar is pegged to the EC dollar, while the sterling and euro fluctuate daily. Infrastructural development issues and the need for ongoing improvements in regulatory framework are also challenges faced as a small island state. It is imperative before embarking on any real estate journey that a potential purchaser or investor connects with a reputable real estate professional or legal expert for the most up-to-date and specific information regarding the current state of the real estate market in Saint Lucia. Now, let's talk about some common legal issues that individuals may encounter in real estate transactions. Some of the most common problems I have encountered, and this is not, of course, by any means an exhaustive list, relate to persons placing deposits on properties without getting legal advice, not having formal written contracts in place, not having title searches carried out at the outset, making offers and entering into agreements before knowing where the consideration for the sale will come from, sellers attempting to sell and being in breach of conditions attached to their aliens' landholding licenses, contracts being unclear as to what happens to a deposit in the event that an alien's landholding license is denied. It does happen. Applicants for aliens' landholding licenses not making full disclosure regarding any conviction history. What all of these issues underscore is the importance of professional guidance in overcoming these challenges. Let's turn now to a look at the legal and regulatory framework. The legal and regulatory landscapes are constantly evolving and becoming more complex. Due diligence and compliance take center stage as the guardians of integrity and legality in real estate transactions. From scrutinizing property titles to navigating regulatory frameworks, these twin pillars ensure a secure foundation for transactions, protecting both the interest of buyers and sellers. Compliance and AML have become critical components of legal practice, especially in real estate transactions. To that end, effective June 2023, legal practitioners engaging in real estate work were required to register with the Financial Intelligence Authority on Island as a supervised entity pursuant to the Registration of Supervised Entities Act. In summary, recent trends highlight Saint Lucia's continuing appeal to buyers in the second homeowners market and property developers, with increased activity post-COVID-19, particularly from the US, UK, and Canadian markets. The island's legal system provides buyers with absolute certainty of title. The property owning process is streamlined with the new Aliens Landholding License Act, and government policies remain friendly to property investors. The move to introduce holistic tourism legislation with the inclusion of the property sector, providing service in the tourism market, can only enhance the island as a real estate investment destination. Thank you for joining me today on this insightful journey into the legal intricacies of real estate in Saint Lucia.